My name is Jamie Duff, and my presentation today is on Gossip Girl's reality. So, to begin, I'll start with an overview of Gossip Girl and my presentation. So, first, I'll start about background and how I developed my research question. Then, I'll move into my first point, which is characters' relatability through conflict. Then, I'll move to my second point, which is character style. And my third point, which is characters behind success and fame. I'll end with a review and showing my works cited. So to begin, I want to set the premise of the show. So Gossip Girl is really based on wealth disparity. So the characters themselves, there's a huge wealth gap, and when you compare this to the average American's wealth, there also is a huge gap. So according to Lydia Ben's 2020 article, the characters' net worth falls between $2 million and $2 billion. And when you compare this to Gunsman's 2019 estimate of the U.S. real median income, which is just above $60,000, along with the 2012 overall median American's net worth, which is just above $120,000, according to DiMattio's 2012 article, you will see that the difference between the characters' wealth and the average Americans is huge. And even off of that, the difference between just the characters, the 2 million to 2 billion, the net worth there is also astounding. So, given this and how much wealthier they are than the average American, how does it create a reality? And before I answer this question, I want to provide a bit more background information about the show. So, the central plot of the show involves anonymously revealing each and every personal detail of this friend group and people that they attend school with lives. And they post all of these details and stories on a web platform, a blog called Gossip Girl. So, this is the main cast. And first, I'll talk about Serena. Serena is a party girl, and the pilot episode begins with her returning back to New York after being away at boarding school for a year. And before Serena left, she was best friends with Blair. And Blair is the Queen of Constance, which is the all-girls private school that the female characters attend. And Jenny is a freshman at Constance, and her brother Dan Humphrey are seen as the lower class family in the show. They live in a loft in Brooklyn with their father, whereas all the other cast members live on the Upper East Side. And the next character is Nate Archibald, and in the pilot episode, he is dating Blair, and they actually end up breaking up later in the show, and Blair begins dating Nate's best friend Chuck. So Chuck begins the show as a bit of a playboy, but he ends the show wholeheartedly committed and actually marrying Blair. And so, as I mentioned earlier, these characters have very far-fetched lives, but the viewers found the show very relatable. So, after careful research and analysis of the show as an overall whole, and 5 episodes that I selected to analyze in depth, and the way I selected those 5 episodes was because all 6 of these main characters were present in them, because Jenny ends up leaving the series after the 3rd season, so I wanted to analyze episodes where she was present. So all the episodes I analyzed are from the first 3 seasons, and then I included the series finale because she is present in that as well. And I concluded that the reality in the show is created by a combination of relatable character traits, specific fashion style sense unique to each character, and focusing on the very wealthy and how they can buy things that really can't be bought. Again, that's the third point, which is characters buying success and fame. So now I'm going to move into my first point, which is characters' relatability through conflict. And the personal and romantic conflicts faced by each character are really resonating with viewers. And this is according to Patty's 2006 article, where she stated that specific aspects of the show that made it successful and relatable were the characters' personal and romantic conflicts that they faced. So I'm first going to talk about family conflict that was present in the episodes I analyzed, in particular in the Thanksgiving special, which is season 1, episode 9, Blair Waldorf Must Pie. And in this episode, Blair, Serena, and Dan are all arguing with their parents. And Blair's father actually left her mother for this man. This is Blair's father's boyfriend. And Blair's mother is very upset by this. This is very hard. And so she ends up uninviting them from Thanksgiving. And she actually lies to Blair about it. She says that her father didn't want to come, not that she just couldn't bear to have him there. So Blair's very upset that her father didn't come. And then when she finds out that her mother lied, she's even more upset that she was kept in the dark by her mother. And Dan and Jenny are very close with their father, Rufus. And their mother has been not living with them. She's been living apart, trying to take some time to analyze what she wants to do moving in her marriage. And she unexpectedly comes back to the family for Thanksgiving, so they don't really know how to handle this, and they're trying to navigate that. Their mother coming back unexpectedly. And Serena is also arguing with her mother, Lily, on the right, because Serena and Blair have a fight, and Blair uninvites Serena from Thanksgiving, and Lily wants to just get takeout. She doesn't want to cook for Thanksgiving, and Serena is trying to convince her mother to go to her new boyfriend, Dan, his family's Thanksgiving. So even if viewers don't have these specific family conflicts, they can at least relate that these idealized characters with these almost perfect lives still at the end of the day do face family conflicts just like they do. The next way that characters are relatable is through romantic conflict. And as I mentioned in the pilot, Blair and Nate are dating each other, and it actually comes out that Nate cheated on Blair with Serena, who was her best friend at the time that she was cheated on. And Blair's very upset by this. She's completely heartbroken, and she is completely blindsided. So the first episode really sets the precedent for the entire show. There's going to be a lot of tumultuous romantic relationships. And after Blair and Nate, they go on and off again for a few more episodes. And later she starts dating Chuck. And in season 2 in Pret a Poor Jay, Blair and Chuck are arguing over saying I love you, and I love you is a very big step in a relationship that viewers really can connect to. And Dan and Serena are another couple in the show, and they are also on again, off again, so that really works to keep viewers focusing on them. Aren't they? Are they going to end up together? Are they not going to end up together? And another romantic conflict in the show is Lily and Rufus, who is Serena's mother and Dan's father, and they dated back in the day, and this offers a glimpse into the future and what romantic conflict may look like at a different stage in life as opposed to the teenagers and the romantic conflicts they're facing. So now I'll move on to my second point, which is character style. And as I mentioned earlier, each character on the show has a unique style. And according to Patty's 2006 article, designer names are mentioned a minimum of one time an episode, and this is a subtle way to remind the viewer of the high fashion premise of the show. And particularly, Lily is frequently shown in very high-end designer clothing. Here she is pictured with a Birkin bag, and this is a very famous, very expensive handbag, and it's very clearly recognizable. So whenever she is carrying one, viewers know exactly what they're looking at, and it does work to remind viewers of the high fashion premise of the show. And the next character style point that I wanted to discuss was mentioned in Abel, Kali, and Maddie's 2016 article, which was that the fashion-forward trends really captured viewers' attentions and made viewers really look to the show for fashion ideas. And frequently seen on Serena are these big statement necklaces and the oversized blazer as pictured here. And the third character style that I want to mention is signature style and pieces, and particularly this is seen on Blair. So she's almost always wearing one of these headbands, as you can see in Amo, Kali, and Maddie in 2016. They found that viewers connected to a specific character style more than the show overall, so they would kind of replicate that and be drawn to that, and it would really connect them to the character. And that's how fashion made the show relatable and created a reality. And my third point is behind Success and Fame. In Ryle's 2016 article, it is mentioned how rich children's success only comes from purchasing it. And for instance, as you can see in this picture from the series finale, Nate is stepping off the NY Spectator jet, and that is the company that he ends up working for. And what is really interesting about this is that he got the job there because it's his grandfather's company. So this just goes to show that he is not really self-made. It's from his family's long lineage of very wealthy people, and this is something very common in US culture. So this realistic element makes it feel more like a reality for viewers that he has this position because of his family and didn't genuinely get it on his own. And another example is Blair here. She is being taken pictures of by the paparazzi at the movie premiere, and Chuck actually pays the paparazzi to photograph her and go up to her and say, "Are you Blair Waldorf? Let me take pictures of you," in season 3's Dandy Florette, because Blair is upset that no one is paying attention to her and she's feeling overlooked. And so this really just goes to show that even if Blair's not famous and on her own right, they can actually pay to at least feel like they're famous, which again is kind of similar to the world of Instagram models and how if you can pay enough money to get enough followers, you can feel famous. And these are two very realistic elements behind Success and Fame that given the previous two ways that the show created relatability, really work together to tie into a Gossip Girl reality. So, to review, I analyzed how Gossip Girl got viewers to relate to it, and I found that while the lives of the characters are incredibly unrealistic, the show helps viewers find relatability through conflict, through style, and through characters behind Success and Fame. Viewers related to this incredibly unrealistic lifestyle, and an interesting follow-up study would be to analyze how viewers related to a show like this versus how they relate to another genre, either a sitcom or a reality television show, and see if it is, again, through these three main points, or if other shows have different elements that make it more relatable or less relatable than Gossip Girl. Thank you, and here's my works cited.